What is going on, guys? Joey Suggs here. Welcome to today's video. Welcome back to Road to Ripped. Welcome to a weekend Road to Ripped video, which is very important because if you've been keeping up with the series, the weekends have been very rough. So I figured I might as well show you guys at least what I'm doing, whether I'm gonna stay on track or not, and hopefully it does do me some good. So I do already have like something planned today. I have like a birthday party out at the beach, but we are gonna start out with a workout this morning because I'm a good boy, and I'm starting out with some Prozis chocolate muesli and some milk. Gonna let that soak for just a minute or so while I explain to you how miserable I've been for the past, I don't know, 17, 20 hours. My AC went out, like the worst possible time, like dead heat of Florida right now. AC went out. No one can come until Sunday. This is now Saturday. It happened on Friday. I slept horrible last night, so I don't even want to be home anyway. So I guess it is nice that I have something to do. But regardless, I'm not starting on a bad note to welcome you to Road to Rip, episode number 14 on Road to Rip 2025. I'll be honest, I went to bed last night thinking about waking up and having this meal. Something about this little combo is so good to me. The way it gets a little soft when you let it sit in the milk for a little bit, the taste of just whole milk is delicious. And all around, it's a really good first meal of the day, especially when your first meal is gonna be followed by a workout. Literally ideal. Total calories for the meal, 328, not bad at all. Protein's at 24. It's nice that there is a little bit of protein in this. It's not all carbs. And I am in a little bit of a rush this morning, so I'm gonna crush this. Let's get to a workout. All right, pre-workout for the day is gonna be NO Shocks from Prozis. This is like one of their most well-rounded and like higher stim pre-workouts. And it's not early in the morning, but it is in the morning, so I figure it's a good time to use it. So a couple sips of this, a couple minutes on the Stairmaster, and it is freezing in here. I had to turn up my gym AC to try to cool the rest of my house. Didn't work. But warm up, Stairmaster, about 10 minutes. We'll get into this lift. All right, warm up done. And the goal of today's workout is gonna be more of a weaknesses, arms type of day. So with that being said, the focus is gonna be shoulders, traps, and maybe some biceps, maybe a little bit of abs. First exercise for shoulders is gonna be one of my favorite exercises, which is a Smith machine shoulder press. And doing this without any back support puts a little more stress on like putting yourself in the right movement, making sure your stabilizing muscles are a little better. And I feel like I get to actually press more when doing so. So I'm gonna do probably one warm up, 3 hard, good working sets of this in that like 8 to 10 rep range, and that'll be a good first exercise for us. All right, shoulders got some blood in them now. Now we're gonna do our second shoulder movement, which is going to be a little climb the ladder. So we're gonna do dumbbell lateral raises, starting at 5, 10 reps at 10, 10 reps at 15, get to 20, just go to a failure, do a couple at 25, hopefully. If I can get 8, I'll probably do 30s, and then work my way back down the ladder. A really, really good shoulder finisher, and since we're doing so much stuff, probably just gonna do like 2 exercises of each muscle group today. And then we're actually gonna superset that with our first trap movement, which is gonna be on the Smith machine as well, and just doing shoulder shrugs. I definitely don't hit my traps enough, so we'll probably do like 4 sets of this around that 10 rep range, and that'll be a nice start into traps for today. All right, last exercise is gonna be a superset. First exercise of that superset is gonna be dumbbell bicep curls. So focus on getting a really tight squeeze, kind of bending over a little bit throughout the rep, squeezing at the top, nice controlled reps. Gonna do maybe 10 to 12 per arm. And we're gonna do 3 sets of the superset total. The second part of the superset is going to be an oblique, kind of like an oblique shrug maybe is what I would call it, or an oblique lean with a dumbbell. I actually did hit abs yesterday, so I don't need to do a whole bunch. So 3 sets total of that exercise, 10 reps per each side of the exercise, and that should be a good way to finish it out for us. All right, workout done. I'm not gonna do a physique update today just because I'm running low on time, and I'll do one tomorrow, and the video is gonna span over 2 days more than likely. So, but really good workout. I think it's like just about an hour so far. Nice little pump workout. I feel like I'm ready for the beach. I am gonna still do my cardio. So like 20 minutes of, I might only have time to do 15, but I'm gonna still get on the Stairmaster for at least a little bit and get a nice little cardio session in for sure. All right, workout done. Honestly, a kind of crazy workout, like an hour and a half, and it was 930 active calories, which is kind of crazy. I am gonna have 2 scoops of this Prozis whey isolate. It's got little chunks of like cookie in there, which are really tasty. But while I do this, I did wanna say, I'm glad I've remembered to mention this, we're doing a huge giveaway, Prozis and I. So my birthday is at the end of June, and they decided to help me out with a little giveaway for you guys. Anyone who orders anything on Prozis throughout the month of June until about the 25th to like the 28th, you're entered to win. All you have to do is just send me a DM of your order ID, your order number. And Prozis has their own system where I can go through and randomize a random order number and boom, giveaway right there. There's gonna be 2 winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card to Prozis. So huge shout out to Prozis for doing that. If you wanna check anything out from Prozis, like what I had for breakfast, what I have for pre-workout, what I'm having post-workout, the link for that is down below. If you use Suggs10, you're gonna get 10% off, plus a bunch of free goodies. Highly, highly recommend it. Even like all my friends who've tried out Prozis are like, oh yeah, this stuff is incredible. So definitely check it out. I am definitely running late. I'm gonna do 2 scoops of this protein. I haven't put it into my Fitness Pal, but I'll do it in just a little bit and I'll put it up here. I'm assuming it's gonna add a little bit of calories, but that is exactly what we want. Really good workout. Let's get this party day on the road. All right, quick fit change. And let me explain to you kind of what is going on. So it's one of my buddy's 30th birthdays today, and we're going to the beach. It has been like raining like crazy for the past few days and happens to be absolutely gorgeous out today. So we got the e-bike in the back, and then I'm loading up this backpack cooler with something that's become a new obsession, and that is Sun Cruisers. They're like a vodka mixed drink with tea and then lemonade and stuff. Honestly, very, very good. And then I know we're gonna have like some bad food later, and I'm gonna try and get myself not to eat it. So I'm gonna bring one of the Clean Eats like PB&J Uncrustables and a Clean Eats meal. This one's the chicken pasta XP, which is really good. So hopefully between these 2 things, I won't be tempted to eat anything naughty. All right, my big appointment complete. It was a haircut. You can't really tell because of the dark over here, but I think it turned out really well and it needed to be done. Nice little haircut for a nice little beach day. I'm gonna go over to my buddy's house, drop off a couple packs of those Sun Cruisers, and then we're riding bikes to the beach, which is gonna be awesome. Probably not gonna bring actually I'm definitely not bringing this camera out into the sand, but I will do some iPhone footage, and that's honestly the best we can hope for. All right, well, the day is Monday. The time is 1:15. We'll get into that lapse in just a little bit, but I have to be home because I am getting my AC looked at, but I did want to stop by none other than Clean Eats. I don't know if I've ever shown like me getting stuff here before, but I actually might try and get lunch too, see what they have. All right, so I actually rolled up at the exact same time the AC guy was getting here. So didn't get to eat this right away, but I am starving and I'm really excited to eat it now. Let me show you what we got going on in this beautiful little bowl right here. So they had a menu of like a build your own bowl, and I've actually never gotten it before. But what I did get was there's a base you can't really see of quinoa and kale. And then I got shredded beef and shrimp as my protein, along with carrots, broccoli, and Brussels. I gotta say, it's a really, really good looking meal. I am gonna drizzle some of this Kinder's honey mustard sauce over it. So I wanna get a little bit of everything in here, but I got so much stuff I don't think I'm gonna be able to. And to me, this is a pretty freaking good looking meal. Definitely, definitely enjoy this. I will say these meals are way more expensive than like their to-go meals. I'll show you everything that I got and like the pricing on that. That makes total sense. I wouldn't get this every day, but it is actually really, really good. And really good for not too bad of calories. The entire meal's 575 calories. This morning I did have some sunflower seeds and like a little mighty chicken stick thing. So total for the day is at 880 roughly. and 73 grams of protein. We're doing pretty good there. Nicely balanced all the way through. And I'm happy to be finally eating a meal now that it's like almost 3 p.m. All right, meal done. That was delicious. And just to go over what I got. So from the grab and go section, they have like a ton of freezers full of like all these grab and go meals. Some of them have better macros than other. I am right now trying to pick the ones with the best. I did get these, which we've seen before, just talked about recently. Then we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 meals for $126, including this, and I'm pretty sure this is like $10 by itself. So if you just take this, under $10 a meal is really, really good. Well, this one I've had before and shown in a video, like Chicken Taco XP. This one is a new one and like really good macros, 230 calories, 29 grams of protein or something like that. This one's also new, hibachi chicken, 220 calories, 29 grams of protein. So typically what I do is I'm gonna just store all these in the freezer and then bring them to work over time as I go through them. Like I said, I don't have any affiliation with Clean Eats or like a code or anything to give you, but I do enjoy their meals for something quick, easy, and tasty and cost effective. I actually am probably gonna eat one of these though. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it out, let it sit and defrost for a minute. Well, these go back in the freezer. All right, another AC guy just left. I'm not buying the new unit, and this is just not putting me in the best mood today, but I do have pre-workout in here. We're gonna get a lift in, Greg and I. Cheers to the workout. I'm not gonna film it just because I already put one in the video, and I'm not in the best mood. All right, people, physique update o'clock. And this is not the same day. This is actually the next day. I couldn't do it yesterday. I was in such a horrible mood. Doesn't really matter because let's talk about the weekend. So massive lapse in time, and you're probably wondering, did you ruin everything? Not really. So let me just run you through a little bit of what happened. So like I said, we took a nice little bike ride to the beach, which really isn't that far. And once we were there, had a really nice beach day. The weather was solid, not too much to complain about there, a good group of people, and then went back to the birthday boy's house and enjoyed a nice pool day, hung out, watched Champions League, and it was all good fun. Now, like I said, I knew there was gonna be a ton of really, really good food there, and I did really, really good of not eating literally any of it. Okay, I may have had one chip with one queso, but that was it. And then the day turned into night. We went out to a bar, listened to some live music, and it got a little bit out of hand. So I spent all day recovering. I did eat a lot on Sunday, but it was all relatively healthy food. So like for breakfast, eggs, bacon, toast, a bunch of snacks throughout the day, and then I actually made an air fryer pizza later on in the night, and that was delicious. So how do I feel like I did? Better than normal. Still not ideal, but I'm not real like down or upset with myself about it. But regardless, let's look at the calories and macros and just go through it all. All right, so picking back up on that Saturday morning, I actually didn't end up eating the Clean Eat stuff at all. So I think I really only had about 600 calories of food on Saturday. Is that good? Absolutely not. Did I definitely reach my calories by all the alcohol I consumed? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Sunday, like I talked about, I didn't film. I also didn't track. So there's nothing to talk about. But like I said, I don't think I went too overboard. And then Monday, what we're gonna catch up on just a little bit, you'll see in just a little bit. And when it comes to weight, we weighed in at 211.2 Saturday morning. Like I said, we wanna be under that 210 and stay under that 210 range. And we didn't quite get there on Saturday. Now, I did weigh myself Sunday, and I was a whopping 205.4. That is what I think extreme dehydration looks like.
And I definitely knew I was gonna pop back up. And like I said, I didn't eat the best. 209.2, which honestly isn't terrible. And I felt like there was still a little room to go. I was correct. This morning, now on Tuesday, back up to 210.8. Do I feel like I'm in a good spot going forward? I mean, it's not ideal, but I don't think I really blew it as bad as I have been recently on the weekends, and most of that is because I just drank one day. I didn't go Friday, Saturday, and something on Sunday, and I kept like the really bad eating to a minimum. And for me right now, my kind of lifestyle, I feel like that's the best I can really hope for. And I feel like in the physique, I don't look that bad. The tan is 100% helping, I think, but the separation in the abs is coming through. Not quite as vascular as maybe I'd want to be, but I don't know. At the same time, I'm like, I don't even know if I like that like super vascular look anymore. So overall, I'm kind of happy with the progress. The goal is still to get down to that like roughly, you know, around that 200 range maybe. Where I'm sitting right now, I feel like I look pretty good, and I feel like it actually is pretty sustainable too. So all in all, the vibes are not bad currently on Road to Ripped. But now that we got the physique update done one day late, let's have some post-workout.
All right, workout done, quick shower and change. I'm gonna do the physique update tomorrow because honestly, I'm not in a very good mood at all, and I don't think that was a very good workout. But regardless, I am gonna have some protein. So 2 scoops of this prozis protein right here going in the shaker cup. So I have this going down, and then I also did have my Clean Eats Uncrustable dupe protein. And that was, and I had that pre-workout, which was really nice. Those two combined come out to about 500 calories roughly, brings a total to a little under 1,400 per day. So still doing pretty good. And we do have 140 grams of protein. So not bad at all. I'm going to drink this, relax for a little bit because I feel like I really need it. And then we'll have some dinner. All right, so I've been thinking about dinner tonight, and I have some leftovers of some things. I have a meal that I made of the Trader Joe's chicken shawarma with broccoli slaw. I have another meal that I made with quinoa and kale blend plus some of that ahi tuna. And I want maybe a combination of both, but I want something that I haven't had in a really long time. It takes a little bit of work, but I think is one, delicious and totally worth it. So I have 2 perfectly cleaned sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna spend the next few minutes chopping them up into relatively equal size like chunks. And we're left with a really nice amount of sweet potato chunks here. I'm gonna go ahead, put them in the air fryer basket, spray it with a little bit of avocado oil, and that'll help the seasoning stick, which I'm gonna use the wood fire garlic from Kinder's, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of blend seasoning from Kinder's as well. Air fryer set on the fry setting, so 385 for 20 minutes. I'll go ahead and press start on that. All right, and while that finishes up, I'm gonna go ahead and heat up everything else. So we have our turkey and quinoa and kale. I'm just gonna use, not turkey, I'm sorry, tuna. And I'm just gonna use the tuna. I'm not gonna use any of the quinoa and kale. And in our other leftovers, I'm not gonna use the chicken, but I am gonna use the broccoli slaw. And this will go in the microwave and get heated up. All right, and out of the microwave, we are done. And we also have our sweet potatoes done that turned out really, really fantastic. So I'm gonna add some of this to the mix here. All right, and definitely a different type of dinner tonight, but a dinner nonetheless. So kind of different like flavors, I feel like. For the tuna and the broccoli slaw, I'm gonna drizzle just a little bit of this Japanese barbecue sauce over top. I feel like this should be a pretty good mix for that. And then I think for the sweet potatoes, I'm just gonna do a little side of ketchup and dip the sweet potatoes in that. So as far as reheating like ahi tuna, it doesn't work the best, I'll be honest. I like tuna anyways, but if you're someone who like doesn't love fish, reheating tuna may not be for you. It just is no longer rare in the middle, which makes sense since I microwaved it. But to me, still very tasty and an excellent source of protein. And in my opinion, the star of the show tonight, the sweet potatoes. Get a little bit of ketchup on there.
And yeah, that's delicious. The sweet potatoes can really go with just about anything. That's why I love them so much. And as a carb source, they're just so voluminous and so filling and satiating for pretty little calories considering. So I definitely can confirm that a little bit of relaxation and a very good dinner does make you feel a little better that you're having to spend an absurd amount of money on a new AC unit when it's not even like 7 years old. Not talking about that anymore. The meal came out to a little over 700 calories, which actually is a lot. It doesn't look like 700 calories, but I have a feeling it's gonna be really filling. And we have a little over 2,000 for the day, but we're sitting oh so nicely, 209 grams of protein. Fat and carb is just about perfect as well. So like from a percentage wise and an overall standpoint, I think we hit that on the head today. And I definitely am excited to polish this off for dinner tonight.
All right, I have been straight up chilling, but I did want to end tonight on a dessert. We have a little extra calories, so let's have a little something, huh? And it's been a little while since I've made this before, but I want to make a little yogurt bowl for dessert tonight. And I normally have more fruit options to put in here, but all I have was a couple strawberries, so that is what we're gonna use. I am gonna also put some of this Prozis protein granola over top. It is honestly very, very solid, good chunks of chocolate and hazelnuts and a little bit of everything in there. And maybe finish it off with just a little drizzle of honey. All right, people, and I didn't need it, but I definitely think it's tasty looking. A nice little yogurt bowl for dessert. And I've been having very similar to this for dessert for probably coming up on 10 years consistently now. It's sweet, it's tasty, and I enjoy it. And the Prozis protein granola, you literally can't taste there's any protein in it at all. And it actually does have a pretty good amount of protein. Yeah, 1/3 cup is 100 calories and 9 grams of protein. That's like protein bar level protein levels. And you can't tell at all. The chocolate's really good. There's real hazelnuts in there. Very, very solid choice. So this will wrap up the eating for me today. Meal came out to like right around 200 calories, which is really good. Left us under 2,300, which is a really nice spot to be at right now. And we do have 232 grams of protein in. So we are doing very, very good on that front. I'm gonna enjoy this, go sleep in a bedroom that's like very near 80 degrees. And hopefully by the time we do our next video, I will have a new AC unit in my home. Appreciate you guys watching. If you did enjoy it, as always, thumbs up is always appreciated. And I'll be seeing you very shortly in the next one. Peace. This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands